Andrew, everyone around the world is talking about this announcement, but there you are on the ground in Rome. What's the word there?
It was pretty shocking. Everyone was very, very surprised, including the cardinals that he was addressing. He made the announcement in Latin during a meeting of the cardinals this morning. It took everyone by surprise there. His chief spokesman gave a press conference a couple hours later, who was clearly stunned by the announcement. You know, Prime Minister Mario Monti said he was shocked. It really did take everyone by surprise. This is kind of unprecedented.
So this hadn't even been rumored? It wasn't like those inside or maybe in the news business had an idea something like this could happen?
No, I mean, clearly he'd been slowing down. He's almost 86, but he was out in public. He was holding masses. He was speaking to the public. He was engaged, and he, you know, really surprised everyone by saying he was going to call it quits. Even some in the church, we've got some criticism from a couple of the high church officials saying that he shouldn't do this, that he's supposed to stay on until the end, but he's obviously made up his mind.
Staying on until the end, but he's going to be stepping down February 28th. Give us a sense of how the next pope will be chosen and how quickly it'll be done.
Well, the popes are chosen in something called a conclave, when they get all the cardinals of the church, all the cardinals that are less than 80 years old. They put them in the Sistine Chapel and they start voting, and there are several ballots usually. And when they have one that they can agree on who gets a majority, they send up white smoke in St. Peter's Square and everybody cheers, and then we have a new pope. This time it ought to be very interesting because there's a lot of pressure to reach out beyond Europe or the U.S. and choose someone from the developing world, possibly an African, possibly someone from South America, because that's where Catholicism is really on the march.
Any chance it could be an American?
I think it would be highly, highly unlikely. While the money from the Catholic Church, a lot of it does come from the U.S., the church itself is really growing. The priesthood is really growing in places like Africa and the Philippines and Asia and South America. And, you know, Benedict was seen as an interim post appointment. He was 78 when he was named, which is very old. So everyone knew that this was not going to be a long papacy. And the idea was it would be an interim between Europe and the developing world. And now we'll see what happens.
Well, what will this papacy be remembered for? What's the legacy?
Well, you know, he was very strict in adherence to church doctrine. He certainly didn't go out of his way to appease the forces that are looking for the Catholic Church to open up a bit in terms of giving women a bigger role, in terms of engaging in the homosexual community, in terms of doing, you know, accepting birth control. He was pretty intransigent on that front. He did inherit the pedophile scandal. He did reach out to victims and apologize for the church. He'll be remembered for that. He met and prayed with victims of priest sexual abuse. But, you know, there's a lot of feeling that the church still hasn't done enough to put that behind it.